Welcome back to No Money Let's Talk podcast, episode 2, part 2. Ding!
But Zoe, being your high school friend, right? Since high school, I tell you guys, like some mornings when I reach early in the school, I will hear her singing, like with her headphones on and just randomly singing.
Oh man, I don't even remember doing that.
Yeah, you did in classroom. You just like randomly. So people are like in groups talking, right? Suddenly you're singing, but it's loud, you know. But tell you guys, it's so good that we all just were shocked, but not shocked at her courage for singing out, but like surprised at how good her voice is and vocals. And I'm so glad that you finally there's a cover of yours with ISTHMUS. Shine, guys.
He's hinting you to sing it right now.
Oh no. No, don't do this to me every time.
Just
You
kidding.
know what? I'll help my friend and say, go listen to it on Spotify.
Okay,
Go
bring it
that.
back.
Yeah, exactly.
Down below. So catch it here. Okay.
Yes.
So Zoe, do you want to tell us like why did you start singing and when you started?
I have this really funny story, but I don't know if it would make the podcast really long. I don't know, but I'm just gonna tell it anyway. First time I really sang on the stage was when I was like 5 years old. It wasn't for anything. Don't be shocked. It was not for anything special. It was like this random student convention thing, like for education fair, something like that. I don't remember. I was like 5. So I went with my brother and my mom, and they had this like entertainment times where someone will go up and tell jokes or I don't know, do stuff to entertain the crowd, right? While the other students were just like roaming around. And so there was this chance where like they said, oh, anybody can come up to sing. And then my mom was like, hey, go lah, you make so much noise at home. And I was like, at 5 you don't care, right? So I went, like I stood on the ground and on the stage. I was like really excited, and I saw the crowd because like education fair, right? It's not like a show where it's completely dark out so you don't see the audience. On the stage, you see every single person looking at you with their faces looking at, oh, it's a little girl. So everybody will look at you, okay? So there's this chubby Chinese little girl standing there. Everyone's staring at me. So of course I started crying. And they still continued to play the song. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. So I was like, okay, heads, shoulders, knees and toes.
So you're crying and singing at the same
Yeah,
time.
I was crying and singing at the same time on the stage. I remember this.
I can imagine Mini Zoe.
What?
I
You were
can
saying?
imagine Mini Zoe crying and singing at the same time, like the
so funny.
emoji.
Yeah, but it was so terrifying. And then there was this clown that came and tried to cheer me up by giving me a balloon or something. And I remember seeing him, and I just cried even louder. Like,
Oh my
the whole
God.
thing was just traumatizing. But after that, fast forward, I think we were still in high school at the time. Like me and I went to the same high school. So I don't know if you remember this, but there used to be IU days next door in the boys' school of next to our school. So our school didn't have IU days back then. Now I think they do, but they weren't big enough for that at the time. I think I made friends with some of them through a mutual friend, and then they realized that I could sing, and I was so shy. I was so shy at that time. I refused at first because I was like, I can't do this in front of a crowd, you know, clowns, audiences, bright lights, and all. So, yeah, but then after that, they were, you know, a lot of encouragement like that I received was so kind of them. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll try it. And that kicked off stuff, and I got to know a lot more people who I'm still working with today. One whom is the guy who made these cards. He's the guy that I started like singing and doing covers with, and we actually went out to cafes to like busk as well for a time and sing for corporate events as well. This was a while ago though. I haven't done that in a while, mainly because of the pandemic, and also because I did take a little bit of a break before that, like maybe a year's break from just going around basking and stuff. So that's how it started. IU days, where kids were allowed to just kind of like test their talents. Yeah.
I also remember that during our college days, you also performed in.
Oh yeah.
Is it help? Is it help university for It's
Yeah.
It's an event.
Okay, so that one, there were several occasions where I went back to perform. One was for a charity event. The other was probably just because we were using their halls for IU days. So I did get invited back even after graduating to perform for their IU days, because I still kept in touch with some of the juniors from the school that I got to know. And so for a favor, I went back to perform for them, and it was really fun to go back. Yeah, but yeah, for the charity events, all of it was just because I knew someone somehow, and yeah, I did. Yeah,
Because
I forgot about that.
Because I went to support you once, I forgot
Yes,
what
that was for
event
the
it's
IU
called.
day.
Yeah,
I think that was the IU day.
IU day for in help, is it?
Yeah, that was. We took pictures that day, right?
Yeah, God,
Yes,
I
that
was
was the IU day.
so impressed. Her charisma in the live concert, right? And her in person is so completely different. Like
Oh.
on stage, she's literally like her sound shining. Like,
Oh my
like,
god,
like
You come
that
to
is very high praise.
Next
Thank
time,
you.
let's
I'm just
invite
speaking the
Zoe
truth.
to Sunway.
Oh no.
Yeah, Monash is
Oh,
nearby, right?
sure.
Monash is very nearby.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Monash is just like maybe you can bust in, not to say bust, but you can perform in the in front of the uni cafeteria. There's always performance there, right, guys?
Yes. For year.
You definitely be such a yeah. So now, like, what actually inspired you to sing?
I don't actually know, but I do know this like moment maybe. I was in the car, and okay, some context. My dad used to be a singer as well, so I assume it runs in the blood. My dad was much bigger than I am right now. He started singing when he was 15, and then started kind of touring at 19. So he sang to the Chinese market. Probably wouldn't know him unless you are very old or exclusively listen to Chinese songs. So he used to tour Taiwan, China, and Hong Kong for a while. I think Singapore as well. Yeah, so but that was a long time ago, and I doubt that people know him anymore. It must be like super fan if you still do. It's crazy. But yeah, he used to do that as a really young teenager. I don't know how, but he did. Because of that, I guess I grew up always being aware of music and songs and stuff. I never learned music per se. I didn't take piano lessons or anything like that. I didn't take any vocal lessons either. I don't think my dad really taught me either. He would just like sing, and then I would just like kind of join in as a child. The first moment I realized like I really like singing was when I was in the car with him, and then he was playing this CD. Wow, that was a long time ago playing CDs. And he was just like, girl, I still try to find her, but I can't really remember her name. I have to ask my dad. Her name was Joey, I think, but she sang in English and Mandarin, and I remember thinking her voice is so good. And then in the car itself, my dad taught me how to do harmonies, how to harmonize with other vocals. And I was so young at that age, I didn't know what he was saying. Okay, he spoke to me in Mandarin. He said, 这个是叫合音. And then at that time, 那个合音我以为是 I thought it was a river sound. All right. What's up to her? It's so random. Yeah, so I was really confused at that time, but I still took it anyway, and I started learning from there by myself, just kind of like listen to a lot of Christina Perri at that age. Yeah, learning from there, and Taylor Swift, obviously. Because of our generation. So yeah, and a lot of the Beatles as well because of my mom. That's how it started, I guess. Yeah, it's just always been there in my family. My parents were both in the music industry. My mom doesn't sing, but she was part of the recording company that signed my dad. So that's how they met.
Wow. Oh.
Wow.
And you got you also
Yeah.
sing.
Yeah.
Since you have released your first cover, right? Will you continue to make more covers in the future?
Yes, definitely. The the problem is it's gotten a lot more complicated nowadays, I would say, because of DMCA rules and stuff. There's a lot of copyright strikes going through the music industry now. You can't just simply do covers. You have to pay for a license to do that, and the license is really expensive. And the only reason why I got to be featured on Shine was because my friend who produced the song paid a ghostwriter to write the song. So basically, you just pay the fee, and the song belongs to you. So my friend owns the song now, and he allowed me to be featured. So I did that, and I think he wants to. He definitely is interested, which I'm so blessed and so grateful for. That he wants to be like a producer role or manager role for me, to continue to like make music and stuff, both for church and both for my own personal, I don't know, art, I guess. But right now, I have too many priorities. So maybe sometime in the future, would probably after I graduate, or maybe if I have like mini gaps of time here and there, then I might work on like a single or something with him. Still deciding. But yeah, definitely interested. More so for church though, not really for my own professional terms. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of that, right?
Yeah.
Actually, do you have a certain style of maybe any genre that you prefer
Yeah.
in your covers or any production of music?
My style, I don't really know, honestly. I just do what sounds good. Um, Usually I'm not very into pop music, but Shine is considered as electronic pop. So it's really out of my comfort zone. At first, it was really hard to record at first, because when I first listened to the original, I was like, how am I going to do this cover? It's so different. The original singer's voice was really like hardcore, and mine is more of like I think I'd like to think of my style as like really softer and like gentler, more alto kind of range as well. I don't usually go for like huge like high notes or anything like that. So we had kind of had to figure out how to combine that and make something new that reflected me, but also is a cover of Shine that was recognizable. Yeah. So I don't know what kind of genre, but I would say I really like songs that are like in the indie style, simplistic style, like with the guitar and a keyboard, and we're good to go. I don't really, or even a band actually. A band is nice, but I'm not very well versed with like electronic music yet. It's just hard for me to imagine my voice with it. Of course, you know, with creativity, anything can happen. But I'd say right now, yeah, soft indie, yeah, or indie
I
pop, I
see.
guess. Yeah.
But to be honest, like the original version of Shine and your version of Shine, it really brings out two different moods. Like,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
I totally, because I heard your cover first, then I
Oh,
was like, oh, this is nice. Then we did talk to ISTHMUS. So then
yeah.
after
Oh,
that, I
yeah.
went to listen to the original.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, wait a minute, it's a totally different. So it's like
Exactly.
I never
Yeah.
expected like
Mhm.
such a collaboration or a cover, and it's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to do something like that. That's really nice to hear from
Yeah.
someone who has heard both. That was exactly what we were aiming for. We didn't want something like a copy of it. We just wanted an acoustic version of it, but at the same time, still recognizable. So the structure of the song definitely had to stay. It just changes here, like a little bit of change here and there, but the style was entirely to be mine, which was the intention. So yeah, acoustic style.
Because I usually listen to electronic music. I
Mm.
don't listen to pop or like
Yeah.
slow songs.
Yeah.
So when I listened to both, it was like it
Mm.
was really nice.
So our friend Zoe here, she actually has a YouTube channel, right?
I haven't uploaded in like 3 years, so mind you, there's nothing much to see there.
Even her old covers original song is I opened that day to listen, and Vivian here, they liked it.
That's so
Yeah.
sweet. Thanks, guys. I was very new to it at the time. Like that was maybe have I written songs before that? Oh yes, I did. I have written songs before that. I'm assuming you're talking about Little Birds. That is
Yeah,
on
yeah.
YouTube. Yeah. So that is the first song that I posted that I've written. But I've definitely written other songs that I have no courage to share. But yeah, that was a long time ago, 2017.
I think you also
Yeah.
posted an original on Twitter.
Yes,
I
I did.
forgot what's the song name, but that one is really, really, really good.
I think it's also on YouTube. That's the
it?
song that I was working with the guy I was mentioning, like Daniel Jagan. So I wrote the song. He helped me make it nicer by playing guitar beautifully in the background. I can play the guitar barely. Like I know the chords and stuff, but I'm not well versed enough with it to have like creativity with it. So my friend's like, it's like basically his third arm. So he's really good at it. Yeah, what's that song's name? Sad
You're
Things?
wearing a white shirt.
Was it Sad Things?
I think so. Yeah, that song really like gave me the chills. Not just chills, like it's meddling with my heart.
Oh,
that kind of yeah. Like
Yeah.
when will you be posting another one soon?
Ooh.
Will it be soon or?
I mean, I definitely have everything that I need to do that. I could definitely do it if I wanted to. I'm just scared of making covers just because I don't want to get copyright strike on YouTube. If I had to, I definitely would have to register a license and write my own song to be safe. I have a couple that I have thought about recording and posting, but I'm not sure whether to do that yet. But I'd probably expect something within by the end of this year, maybe. I'm not sure, can't promise. But I definitely have written songs over the MCO because being stuck at home and stuff. Yeah, I have a mic. I have a new guitar that I bought last year. Oh my gosh, it's like the best thing that I've bought. So I could if I wanted to, but I'm not sure yet. Just because the only reason why I wouldn't is because I can't edit it myself, the video, basically, because I'm using a good laptop, but it's just slow. When I'm shooting it with my new phone, I actually thought about everything. Okay, so I bought a new phone, I bought a new guitar, I have a new mic, and I wanted to do like vlogs and covers and all this stuff if I could, but my Mac broke. So my MacBook broke.
Oh.
Mainly because it was a second hand and like I can't use iMovie anymore, which I had been using before to edit my videos when I was really young. Oh my gosh, it's kind of cringe, but you know, it was easy to use and yeah, user friendly. And I've bought a new phone and it's like really nice footage. You can literally shoot things in 4K and like my laptop cannot take that. So I can't edit it even though I do have all the softwares that I need because my mom uses it for her work. She's an editor and a graphic designer, so I can just use her accounts for stuff. Everything's ready except for a laptop. So yeah, I have to kind of save up and buy a new one if I want to go in that direction and post more videos, which is something that I intend to do. It just takes time.
Never mind, we will wait for your new
Aw.
videos upload on YouTube.
Yeah, just go with your own pace and do like just follow your own pace, and whenever you post it, you have our support.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, really sweet of you guys.
Yeah, like have you ever thought of like, instead of like editing it yourself, then like
Mm.
you collab with someone else,
Mm.
like maybe a video editor or like a director kind of thing?
I thought of getting my mom to do it for me, but she has so much on her plate. She's a freelance everything. She's a freelance editor, graphic designer, translator, anything that she can take. And recently, she's just taken a huge job on taking a video. Well, I'm helping out with that with that as well, like taking a video of people and like it's an advertisement basically, mattress advertisement. And now she has to edit it and do the storyboard and everything. So she's got too much on her plate. As for hiring outside of the family, I haven't thought about that actually, but I think I didn't just because I would much rather do it myself. I don't want to pay for it. I don't have the means to pay for it. If I can, I'd buy
Understandable.
myself a laptop
Yeah,
and do
understandable.
it myself. So, yeah.
The pain of paying, yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
it's just out of my means to pay right now. Yeah.
So just to ask, right? If anyone like if I play Shine, the cover you did in front of you right now, would you feel shy?
I think so. I've done this interview like a few times now, and they've done this to me like quite a few times as well. So I think I'm like immune to it. Yep. I've just been like, it's okay. It's just me listening to a new song. It's completely fine. So, yeah, and also it's not just that. I sing in church, right? And like we do record a lot of videos each Sunday of us singing. So during the church service on Sunday, because you can't go to physical church, right? You watch it online now, and all the worship, or which is the songs that we sing before the service starts, are all pre-recorded. So I would often go to church online and then see myself singing. So it's kind of like normal now. Yeah. So I wouldn't be shy.
Do you have ever have any the most unforgettable responses of your audience?
Okay, now that the one that that's coming to my mind is when I was still in BAC and we were doing A levels together. So Minnie and I did A levels together as well, and I joined the music club, music and performative arts club, and there was this time I think I sang for the first time in that club. It's just a tiny group of people, like maybe 7 people. And I was asked to just kind of like sing, because like one by one, right? We just sing and for fun and like just for them to see what level we're at and stuff. I think I did a cover of a song by Halsey. I don't know if you guys know this song. It's Sorry by Halsey. And at one point I was like really obsessed with that song at that time. Yeah. And I sang that, and then I remember like while I was singing, I usually close my eyes, but then at that point, I wasn't coincidentally closing my eyes. I saw one person in front of me who was sitting in front of me. She went to her friend while I was singing. She turned to her friend and she said, "Oh my gosh." And then like, at first I was like, "Oh no, am I like really bad or what?" It was just so awkward. And then after that, I was like, "Oh, she's complimenting me." So, yeah, I guess that was the funny, memorable moment for me. Yeah.
So all of that went through your mind while you were singing.
Yes, it was really hard to stay focused. Yeah, once you get used to something, you can do a lot of things while being on autopilot. So like in my head, I'm constantly thinking about all these things while still singing. So, but it's so hard. I couldn't focus at the time. I was like, oh, I panicked a little bit, but I had to continue. So
Wow, that's actually so impressive.
Yeah.
it's more funny though, I think.
I'm quite impressed on you can handle so much thing at a time, you know. Like
I think it's just
how do you get so motivated?
oh.
And also tutor, right?
Oh yeah,
Tutoring.
I am currently tutoring 3 students. So 2 are siblings, and 1 is my neighbor. So I walk to his house to tutor him each week. How do I stay motivated? I think, well, my go-to motto is basically just do all things with love. If you love what you do, you will, yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. But one more thing that I recently realized for myself is like there are definitely moments where like you're just thinking to yourself, did I overbook myself? Did I not manage this properly? And did I think like I can handle this much? Did I bet on myself too much? And because there are definitely moments where like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm burning out. There's so much going on at the same time, you know, because I tutor, I also do my degree. It's a double major, so it's like, oh my gosh, I have to think about these things. And then I'm also on scholarship because I just cannot afford Monash's full fees. It's crazy. So it's really expensive. No offense, great education, but so expensive. So I have to keep my grades up for that scholarship and PTPTN, and then I have to tutor at the side as well, and then my clay stuff at one hand, and then also singing in church, serving at church, which takes up a lot of my time as well. How do I just stay motivated through all this mess? Is by keeping it all in order. Like, just make sure that there's like enough time for myself to rest. I need to prioritize as much as I prioritize everything that I do. So it gets an equal share of my time. I will not do what I do if I don't get enough rest. It's a defiance kind of thing. Like I cannot work if I don't rest enough. So planning is a really big thing that helps me a lot. If you do it all for yourself, you're never going to be happy and you're never going to be motivated. That's what I find for myself. If I'm doing it purely for my enjoyment, even though that is important in itself, if I do it for someone else that I love, it's automatically motivating, because that is the way it is. When you love someone, you make sacrifices. You give them time, you give them your effort and everything. So I go back to that when I question what I do. Like, why am I doing this? Why am I going through all of this like busyness in life and making myself do so much? I go back to this like, okay, it's because I care, and it's because it's not for myself. I am basically accountable to someone else, and you make a difference in someone else's life. So when that is on the line, you automatically will do it. At least that's my personal experience. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Really.
So no.
Wise words, eh?
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
important now to find like a purpose in what
Yeah.
you are doing. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, but going back like to singing, like if you were to be a singer in the future, like what kind of impact would you want to give to your audiences or like towards the industry in general?
Definitely joy. I want to bring joy into that industry. Some songs, I think, in my personal opinion, can go unwritten. Meaning, I think that some of these songs don't have the good value that I think should bring. Music is something that should bring joy in all its shape and forms and genres. It can come in all types of forms, but if it doesn't bring joy, then I think it's pointless. So if I ever do go into the industry and make my place in the world like that, then I definitely hope that it will bring light and joy. Like, I don't want it to be anything that brings people down or hurt people, or I think there's enough in the world that does that. Music should be like therapy. It shouldn't be even more of a burden. Yeah.
Is there any singer like locally or internationally that you look up to?
Definitely the people that have taught me to become better than I have been, which are the people in church that I have been so kind to mentor me and to teach me how to use my voice, how to use it effectively and not tire myself out. And then for international artists, there's this guy that I really admire. His name's Jonathan Ogden. He makes like really cool music. but it is contemporary worship music, so I'm not sure if I can I don't know. You guys can still go listen to it. Yeah. Oh, and there's this guy that I know that has like a really cool band as well. It's called River and Robots. He's toured the world literally, and like it's just crazy to know that I know someone like that, and he's so humble. So those are my immediate circle and examples that I look up to, because I actually know them personally and they know me, and it's so humbling for me to know how humble they are, because they're sometimes I feel like I'm walking amongst giants, but then like when because I realize how talented they are. They've toured the world. They've sung in many types of conferences and in front of thousands of people, or performed in front of thousands of people, and gone viral or whatever it is, right? And when you think about these achievements, it's like, oh my gosh, I actually know that person. And then, but you forget because they're so humble with what they do and who they are and what kind of talent they actually have. And so, yeah, it's crazy. But for a local artist that I probably don't know personally would probably be Ziavi. I love her voice. She's got a beautiful voice, and like it's just chef's kiss. So yeah, if we're not talking about like immediate examples or people that I look up to, then yeah, Ziavi for local singers. Can't think of one that is international. Probably Jonathan Ogden right now. Yeah. And well, the Beatles, but they're old and they're like not here anymore, but you know, it's still like, oh yeah, it's so gentle and yeah, beautiful, the way music should be. But yeah.
I see. With all that now is on your plate right now, clay, tutor, your church worship and all that, and singing. If you were to choose one industry to focus on, which industry would it be? Like, and also your degree as well.
Yeah, my degree is Bachelor of Arts in Social Science. So I do psychology and global studies. Global studies meaning like kind of like politics, sociology, and psychology in itself as well. I'm very interested in like social work and working with people, which is why my majors are purely humanities and social sciences, because I still collect data and stuff. So all this wide arrays of stuff that I do, and I think that's the thing I don't want to choose if I had a choice. I think that, yeah, I know it's probably impractical, but I like the way that I'm flexible. I don't want to be, I don't know, I don't want to fit into one box. Like, who says you can't be a social scientist while singing and doing clay art? It's like, we're not meant to fit in a box. Everyone's talented in multiple things, and I think like the economy demands that. You need to be flexible in so many areas. You need to be like tech savvy. You need to know how to work with people, especially as well. You can't just stay behind a computer at all either. You need to incorporate all of these skills together. So I am really grateful that I got to experience all of that at once, like working with people through tutoring, learning how to do scientific stuff through my degree, and then singing, which is my joy, but also learning how to work with people with that too, because like you need to know how to just like speak to people, get to know them, and then like build relationships, and then also make sure that whatever I'm doing is valuable for the market per se. And that's also incorporated with clay as well. Like, I do this for joy, but I need to know how to talk to customers, how to protect myself, and all these skills. I'm so grateful to have been able to learn them. Yeah, so I don't know if I would ever pick something. Of course, I'll definitely have like a main occupation, which I assume practically would probably be teaching, because I am tutoring now and I know how to teach kids. I love kids. So that would probably be my main occupation. But I definitely find a way to keep up with all of these other things that I'm doing at the same time. They probably wouldn't earn money, but I don't think I'm too worried about that. Yeah.
Wow, that's just that's just very, very inspiring. Like, I like how you mentioned that we do not just fit into one thing, and that one thing doesn't define us. It's what we do, like what we have passionate, which defines what we are or who we are.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody has that. There are things that you guys can do that I can't do. So it goes both ways.
That's actually so inspiring to hear from you, Zoe. Everything from what you do in clay and studies, tutoring, singing, church, and just being amazing as you are.
That's so sweet.
I'm quite admired of your work. Can multitask so many things that I wish I can do also.
Oh, yes, you can. I'm sure there are things that you can do that I cannot do. I am sure of that. We are all made differently,
Yeah.
so
Agree,
yeah.
agree.
Differently,
thank
but
you.
uniquely.
Yeah, exactly. But thank you so much for praising, and thank you for inviting me here.
Maybe after this I will try myself.
Sure, go ahead. That's the best part. The trying part, because there's no commitment.
Yeah. So, is there any final say you like to, like any motto or any advice you want to give to our audience here?
Hmm. I think I mentioned this quite a few times, but here goes. My main motto that I live by is probably just these two things or sayings, phrases: do all things with love, and serve others and not myself. That way, you will definitely keep yourself motivated for anything that you do. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
That's nice. That's nice. Like when you think of not just for your own enjoyment, but you serve for the purpose of everyone's, like the bigger picture, happiness. That definitely achieves greater things, right?
It definitely does, and that itself brings joy. So I win-win.
That's actually more than enough from our community. And also thank you to Jason and Vivian. Also, shout out to the song Shine by ISTHMUS, and also Zoe's acoustic cover ISTHMUS Shine. It will be in the description box down below. Go listening on Spotify, guys and girls. Yeah, so that is us signing off. Thank you and have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
When you were born to shine, you were born to shine. There's been times when I thought about giving up, but I never did.